First, I'd like to say peace to the gods.
Welcome
to Truth Tuesday with your host, Akiem.
He knows more than you can imagine.
The truth.
Well, the truth is, you got to get yourself together.
The truth.
The truth is, you got to get your mind right.
The truth.
The truth is, you got to get your paperwork in order. The truth is,
Hindsight Radio.
I'm listening, but are they listening?
Hindsight Radio.
What you talking about? Okay. What about Tuesday? Yo, Akiem, pick me up. Yo, turn that on, son.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you'll be able to listen to the show.
At last.
Hindsight Radio.
The truth is, it's Tuesday.
With your host, Akiem. The truth.
Peace to the gods. You're listening to Hindsight Radio. This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation. This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Doug E. Fresh, and you're listening to Hindsight Radio. And when I'm doing commerce, I'm always tuned in to Hindsight Radio, the information station that's taking over the nation. Always Hindsight. All right?
Peace, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Truth Tuesday show with your host, Akiem L, here on Hindsight Radio, the information station changing the nation. I hope everybody's doing well. Me and my family, we are doing wonderful, great, prosperous as always. And I wish the same for you and your family. I wish and I hope that you're remaining in constant connection with the higher self, the higher part of yourself. That part that is always thinking about peace and prosperity, extreme wealth, and good health, all of those things. So, because if you don't remain in that consciousness, there's always something to steer you in the direction of thinking about something negative. It's always, we always have opportunities to take our minds off of the things that are happening for us that is good and put it on something that is not so good. So, and only, the way I have to remind myself is, and it's a constant thing, is to be appreciative of what I have. Be appreciative of the people I have in my life. Just be in constant appreciation. It's very easy to look at people's flaws and highlight them. I get caught up in that almost daily. But then I have to remind myself to dial it back, Don't stay in that place. We have been brought up to judge people and things in a negative way. We have not been trained to be positive all the time. Even, some people believe they're being positive, and then when you really examine, they're not. So I hope that you are in constant in the state of consciousness that when you do go down that path, you can bring yourself back. We slip up. We go into these states of consciousness that are negative. Think about it. The Christ story, when he went up to fast, and right after that, the devil came and tried to tempt him. What was the devil? Was that really a devil, an entity, something separate from him? No, it was think about it. If you were fasting for that long, all kinds of thoughts come up. I don't have to fast all this. I'm hungry. I can have it all because I'm God's son. I'm God. I'm this and that. And all these negative thoughts come up. So basically those temptations, those three temptations, was just basically his lower self coming in to test his higher self to see how serious it was about moving forward in the higher states of consciousness. I always keep telling you, to move to the next level, you will be challenged. So Christ had to be challenged 3 times before he went to the next level. And right now, you're in a challenge daily to get to the next level. No matter what level you're on, what step of those staircase that are ascending up, like the ones behind me here, those are stairs. Each step represents another level of higher consciousness. You could be on the bottom step, or right next, or the one right next to the top step. You could be anywhere, but you are being tested right now before you can take that next step to the next level. And that could be by way of a business idea has been being presented to you, and you are scared. And it could be a great business idea, but you're scared to put that money down. You're scared to trust. You're nervous. You have fear because of past failures or people who have come into your life who who have not been so honest and taken advantage of you. We could come up with all kinds of reasons why we could be stuck in a default position, like I talked about a couple of weeks back. We can make all kinds of excuses. No, I'm good here because I got my retirement coming up, got my pension, got my Social Security. I got all these things coming. That little bit of money that I'm gonna get from that basically is gonna keep you at a certain level of prosperity where you're gonna have to budget your vacations around that set amount of money. Whereas this business opportunity has unlimited potential because it's all based off how much effort you're putting in to make it happen. You see? So remember, you are being tested daily, sometimes minute by minute. You're being tested in your relationships with your spouse or whoever you're in relationship with. The way they react to you and how you react to them. Are you going to continue to react the same way in the angry and manner, or are you going to think about it? Because I know in my own experience, I've reacted in certain ways that always got me the same results, negative results. So I had to rethink. I need to change the way I'm doing this so I can get positive results. And when I changed, then I got positive results. Even when I err and do something that's not so cool or nice, I had to learn how to come back and apologize sincerely, not just, sarcastically, but be sincere about it. Looking to make peace in every situation. Even sometimes we do fall out of peace with each other. But when we fall out of peace with each other, that's a check mark for your friendship. Because you don't know anybody until you piss them off. So remember that. One of the things I'm going to discuss today is who are the people the Constitution is talking about. United States Constitution, the state's Constitution. I got some case law that tells you who the people are. You got at one point I even stated that we are the people. I said that, but we're going to see if I was right about that or not. We're going to see. We are somebody in that Constitution. We're someone. We're mentioned. And I'm going to bring that out and show you who you really are. Especially if you're participating in certain activities, who you really are and why you're being treated the way you are. This is why you have to come out of her, my people, before you sharing her with her sins. You have to come out. Because in order to receive the full benefits of your inheritance, you cannot be taking part of. I won't go no further. I'm just going to bring the case law up. I'm going to read it. And it's going to show you clear as day what all of this stuff is for, who it's for. It is going to show you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to do that. But back to your prosperity, your mindset. One of the biggest things that slow people down is they have great ideas, but they want it to be perfect before they start. They want it to look a certain way. They have a vision in mind. They want to build Rome in a day. Or they won't start until this picture that they set, it looks exactly like that. And I know so many people who have done that and they're still trying to get it perfect. The only way to be successful in any business is just to get started with whatever you have and just start. Get it out there. And as you're going forward and building these business or whatever businesses you got, it's going to transform. It's going to come to life bit by bit. I can tell you, starting off the trucking company, it was a great idea, excited. But then when I started to work on it, I became unexcited at a time. Like, man, this, it's that, it's this and that. You got to do this. But despite that lower self-talk, those devilish negative words that come to be an adversary to the inspiration of the idea of starting the trucking company, they come. And they're like, man, what are you doing this? You got your show, you doing good over there, bro. Why are you messing with this? You know you ain't driving no truck. You're not gonna do all of this. And sometimes I get like Peter and I look at those words and that storm of those words and say, man, I'm going to go back to what? My default position. See, there's all types of default positions. There's the broke default positions, and then there's you're making good money, but not not wealth money, but you're making great and good money. That's a default position too. That's a trick too. And see, and I had to realize that I'm teaching y'all to get out of that default position, that broke thinking, coming home and just wanting to turn on the TV and watch TV or doing some other entertainment or something that is not moving the needle forward in your business. You can get to that 6-figure level, but there's all types of 6 figures. You got the low 6 figures and you got the mid and the high. Where are you? Today I'm talking to you. That's at that good money section, and you stay in default on that. Okay, if that's all you want and you're comfortable with that level of lifestyle, we're just getting you some good vacations. But you still, if you stop doing that today, you're not going to be able to take a good vacation. That means that's not wealth. See, wealth is when you just stop and you could go on for generations and not do another thing, and that wealth is still there. Because that money is just constantly making money for you. See, I had to realize that. Oh, I'm telling people to get out of the default position. Yeah, I went from a broke default position to a I'm doing great default position. And I have to wait a minute. Oh, you starting this trucking company because it will bring you another source of income, another stream of income, and it will also provide another stream of income for your children. Because I'm not driving the truck. My sons are going to drive it. They're going to share that, we're going to have one truck. They're going to share time with it, so that the truck can keep running. Almost 24 hours a day. It's going to be moving. They do a tag team. And it all worked out. We was my oldest son wanted to do it, but he couldn't do it till January because, holidays. He's got to go pick up his son from Texas and bring him back. And he was like, okay, we got these bills that we're paying. We're actually paying bills on this business, and we ain't made a dime yet. And the negative talk keep coming. The devil keep coming. Hey, wait a minute, man. It comes so smooth. These devilish ideas, man, you bought that truck at a good, decent dollar. You could sell it and make 3 times the amount on that and be done with it. Yeah, but that's 3 times the amount and that's it. It's not perpetual money. Why? Because one truck turns into 2 trucks turns into 3, 4. You know what I'm saying? That business could just transform into someone. So you got to keep moving forward. See, it was like Christ after fasting, he got those 3 temptations. And my temptation was, oh, we got this. Let's sell it. Make some money. And I had to recognize what those words were. You didn't get the inspiration to start a trucking business just to buy a truck and sell it. Because you probably won't ever get the gift of that truck again after you sell that. Now, if I hold on to the truck and open the business, keep the business going, guess what? I'm going to get another truck at a very good deal again. Why? Because I showed appreciation for the inspiration that was given to me. See, now if I sell it, and I see this happen a lot of times to people who get gifts of prosperity opportunities, and then they take the quick way out, and then that opportunity never comes up again. See, I could get back in the business, but then I have to buy the truck at 3 times the amount because I'm going to find me another truck that is a very good deal. Someone even said, Akiem, you always find these deals that almost impossible to find. See, I had to tell someone this, help them understand something. That when inspiration comes and you follow the path, even when it's dark, when you can't see but a couple of paces in front of you, maybe you can't even see a couple of paces. Maybe you can only see the half of the next step, but you keep moving and it gets brighter and brighter. Because when we started it, we had to find a truck. Because on the advice of, we were taking, they said, find a truck and you got to do this and that. And so we found the truck. We got it. Right now we're sitting at a place where they're gonna, some stuff need to be done on the inside to make it cargo ready. That's more money. That needs to be spent to get it on the road. But I know once it get on the road, all that money I spent, I'm gonna make 10, 20, 30 times of that in the first 2 months. And I'm gonna tell you, honestly, just being honest, I don't know. I don't have an idea on how to get to what load we're gonna get this, but I do know this: that once it's ready to roll, that opportunity is gonna open up. See, that's what I'm talking about with you guys in your business. Y'all want to see the whole A to Z picture. You're never gonna. That's not going to happen ever. Stop hoping for that. Just know the next move and move in it. Even that next move could be fuzzy because once you get in there, okay, I got to adjust. You have to be so flexible with your ideas and be willing to not be so caught up and narrow-minded. You just got to do it. Just doing it. And I'm thankful that I'm working with someone who understands that. Because if I was working with someone who at every turn where it seemed like it was hard and they were sitting there in my ear, oh man, this is gonna cost something, blah, blah, blah. I ain't getting that. I'm not getting that at all. See, even when the opportunity comes, it's gonna put the right partner with you that will work with you. See, we started off trying to do another business, and it was kind of hard to do that business as partners. So we looked at the trucking business. You see, I'm just telling y'all this not to brag, but to give y'all examples to show you that all of the stuff I tell you about, I'm not exempt from negative thoughts entering my mind. They do it daily. But what I'm thankful for that I recognize that these are temptations to move away from the mission that I've been given. Like I said, it's totally fuzzy in my mind what's going to happen once this truck, but what's not fuzzy is the things that need to be done to get it there. That's not fuzzy. So right now, I'm like Noah building the ark. We're like Noah building this ark until the rain comes. And the rain I'm talking about is the blessing and all of the loads that this truck is going to take. You know, it's almost unheard of to find a truck as old as we have it for the miles that it. That's unheard of almost. That's what I'm telling you. Once you move in a direction, the door's going to open up and you're going to see the miracles happening in the situation. Because why? You're moving with faith and works, not just faith. You're moving with the works and the faith. Because all of the expenses that popped up, something that I worked on a year ago came in and helped fund that. Well, it's not. The more and more I think about it, it just shows me that how divinely inspired this idea is. And you are dealing with the same situation. You have divinely inspired ideas, but the problem is the work isn't there. Just moving in the darkness, feeling your way through, because that's what happens. Now, I hear people, you need to plan, you need to study businesses and all. That's true. That is true. I agree. But I also know this. There's no plan greater than the knowing that you are using your God power and your mind power. That's the plan. That mind. Yes, put it down, write it down. I know I got to do better than that. But so far, how I've been operating, it works. I probably could work better if I get more detailed in my writings. But I know within me, I have a power to manifest the things that I think about just by meditating on them and then seeing them and then moving in them. Maybe someone come along that can help me organize that on the side. That's what I probably need. Someone to come along and say, okay, this is what you need, and let them do that job. Pay them to do that job. While I can just focus on manifesting the ideas. Yes, write it down. Look at what you're about to do, and they think you hear all of the people on the thing. You need to research. You need to do all of that. Yeah. I don't know. I agree with that to a degree. To a degree. But so far when I look at my life and the way I've been moving and the success I've been having, it all came from the God power, the mind power. And I'm never gonna minimize that. So you got ideas, move. Just do it. Just throw it out there. Put it out there. Make the mistakes. It's okay. If you look at every successful person, they made mistakes. But what they did was they made the mistakes and they corrected course along the way. They didn't try to correct course before they got started. They was already on their way and they corrected the course. Stop waiting. What are you waiting for? All you have is now. Tomorrow is a fantasy. The past is just an idea now. Just a memory. All you have is now. Don't say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. No, do it now. Now. It's not tomorrow. It's always now. It is never tomorrow. It is never yesterday. Those are all illusions. It is always now. When the idea hits your head that about your business, you need to stop what you're doing and start working on it. Because the moment you say, I'll do it later, guess what? That inspirational idea will just fade. And you'll be like, what was I thinking about earlier? Or at least stop and write down the idea so you can remember. But even when I write down and I stop and write it down and say I'll do it later, it still doesn't have the same vibration or the same energy as when it first comes to my mind. So for me, I have to act on it in that moment. If I don't, it loses its power. Right now, while I'm talking to you, some of you guys got ideas. I don't care. Stop listening to me and go follow that idea. Come back and listen later. Right now, somebody got the inspiration to do something. You recalled something. You need to stop what you're doing and obey the God in you and go do it. Whatever that might be. It could be the inspiration to call somebody that you haven't talked to in a while. Could be that. But do it, because this is recorded, right? You can always come back and listen to me later. Always obey the God in you, the voice that's speaking to you, telling you and guiding you, that quiet voice. It's not going to argue with you. It's not going to sit there and make you do it. See, the ego is the one that makes you want to be right or fight with someone. I got to get to this person because I got to tell them something. They need to know I'm right. That's the ego. That's the false self. That's the fake self. That's not real. But the real you is quiet. Say, listen, this is how you do this thing, blah, blah, blah. It's very quiet and it's very direct. There's no side roads it's taken. And it'd be like, boom. But we drown out, man. I got the ego coming, man. Okay, that's good. You could do it later, but you need to do this now. Wait for that great idea and go do this now. And then as you doing it, your lower self has just distracted you. The devil has just distracted you from your true purpose. And that was the whole idea of that scripture when Jesus was tempted those 3 times. He had a purpose. He had a mission. He had to show the world the power that they had within him. He had to show the world that they will do greater things than he will. Yeah. So you have to show the world that the things you're going to be doing is just an example of what someone else who is witnessing you do it, they will do greater. That's what we're doing. As you're elevating yourself, you're elevating other people by your actions, the things you say and do. It goes back to what I said. You don't know the Christ until you become the Christ. And to become the Christ, you must be an example of power. When people see you and you're doing things, they're like, wow, how do you make that look so easy? I mean, you'll say to them, well, if you think this is something, wait till you start. You'll be doing greater things than this. So, if you haven't listened to me already, you don't have to listen to me, but I could tell you what could happen if you don't. You're gonna lose it. If you got the idea, the inspiration while I was talking and something hits your head and you go grab a pen, write it down, or it's something that needs to take action or actually do it, you need to go do it. Obey the God speaking to you, through you, in you. God always speaks from within. He never speaks from outside of you. He always come within you and talk. You got these preachers and pastors. Yeah, God told me to tell you this. And if it don't align with your spirit, God ain't telling you nothing through nobody else's mouth. All I'm here to do is just to remind you of the God power within you. And I'm just telling you to obey that. Not me, obey that. I'm just a messenger. And a lot of the stuff I say is mainly me talking to myself, reminding myself weekly of what I need to do. It sounds like I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to me. While I was talking, I had an inspirational idea, and the inspirational idea was I need to stay on the path of this message. Yeah, I could teach y'all about who the people is and read these articles and all these facts and all of that stuff. That's all good. But I do know this, that all of that is still a distraction from the real job, the real purpose, the real mission. All of that, every last one of those things are a real distraction. Because the only purpose that I have, I'm speaking for myself, is to show you your power. Tell you who you are, or show you who you are by telling you to go home or stop in your car, pull down that visor, flip up that little lid, and when the light flick on and you peer into your eyes and see who you are. That's my only job. That's it. Draw power from yourself. You have all the power you need. You have enough power inside of you to light up a city, and that's facts. Electrical power running through every cell in your body can light up a city with the right equipment. The Matrix showed y'all that. That was just an idea. Yeah. So you mean to tell me that you have allowed this world, outside forces, mama, daddy, granddaddy, whoever, school, governmental entities, even your church, to tell you the only power you can draw off is there's something outside of you that's up in the sky, wherever that is that's the power? Nope, it's not. Well, I don't have to, I don't have to argue with you on that. You've been doing it that way all your life. You know where that leads. One unanswered question after the other. Right? You go to your pastor, ask some questions that confuse you. He was looking at you, oh, just trust God. What he forgot to tell you is this: trust the God in you. Oh, just trust the God in you. See, he left that part out. He said, trust God, like he was up here somewhere. He's floating somewhere. He in some invisible realm somewhere. Yeah, God is in the higher conscience. It can't be seen by the naked eye, but it can be seen by the spiritual eye. That's why they when they said no man will see God and live. Because you must worship God in spirit and in truth. So that means in your spiritual nature, you will see God. So you can see God through meditation, in your private place, in your secret room. That's where you see God. Detached from the body, the physicalness. So go handle your business and make it happen for yourself. You can do it. You have the power. You have the power to have dominion over all things. All right. Someone said, let me just put this on the screen. I had a vision of my product label last night. As soon as I woke up, I drew it on the poster. Hey, there it is. See? There, that's you obeying. Good. I like that. That was Jay Butterfly. Is that Jay Butterfly? Is that well, I see Jessica Allen in there. One of the hosts of the Divine Connection show. And Maxim says, I am doing good now for 2020. Peterbilt 579, new 2024, all because the Reverend Ike video in 2020 that got me became successful with his teaching, God, mind, thoughts, vision. Yes, like that. I like it. Yeah. I'm telling y'all need to go to Reverend Ike's site and download this stuff and start listening to it. Binge. Y'all want to binge do something? Y'all really want to binge on something that is going to encourage you to transform your mind. Binge on that. Y'all like watching shows. Oh, okay. So you in there twice, Jessica? Because I see Jessica Allen and then I see uh Jay Butterfly. Okay. All right. Got it. Oh, it's me on my and oh, you on both on two devices. I got you. All right. What I was saying. If you want to binge watch something, binge watch or listen to something that is moving you in the direction of your prosperity. Now, I got a confession to make. See this I'm drinking? This is some rum. I discovered this over the Thanksgiving holiday. And I'm not a drinker, but I do drink during my shows. I drink a little bit because what it does, it opens up that spiritual portal and let me get these downloads. So, and this is but I kind of saw this trying to buy some good alcohol for the Thanksgiving thing. It's some very good Barbados rum, aged 5 years. It's very good. It's very smooth. But all these good teachings that come, there it is. This is my helper. All these preachers, oh, you shouldn't drink, man. Okay. Yeah. Me, that's the only time I do drink. Pretty much is when I do the show. Like I wasn't drinking for a while. I used to do the Malibu, but something said I got like another inspiration said you have to get the good stuff if you want to get out the good information. If you want drop the real knowledge down, you need to get the good stuff. And I said, okay. And I had another one called the Santa Ana. That's good too. That's very good rum as well. And it's so good that a lot of the stores don't even carry it. There's only one place I know that carry that Santa Ana. That's I think that's a Puerto Rican rum. And it's not cheap. But this one here, yeah, it's called spirits. Right. You want to get them right spirits in it. So that's why I have to do oh my ritual before I get started. I do a little ritual, I pour a little out for the ancestors, and then I do the show. All right, so before I close out the show, let me show y'all this. And in between, I'm gonna take a sip of this, and it might get me to tell y'all something else. Hope so. Oh yeah, by the way, 563-999-3615. Press 1 to speak to the host if you want to. A lot of times you guys don't want to even get on and ask me questions. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Nasim Ali says, all I drink is rum. It goes back to the times when we ran and ruled from the high seas. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. But I know one thing. Since I've been the last 2 shows or so, I was drinking this. And I'm gonna tell you, before I start the show, I really be a blank slate. Like I have like what am I gonna talk about today? And I have these, I always go through this. And it's see, I took a sip. It opened me up again. Like clockwork. I hope this helps. So you know what I go through. Every Tuesday, I go through this period of saying I'm not doing a show. I don't have nothing to talk about. I don't feel like talking to these people. I don't want to do nothing. I'm gonna do nothing. It ain't like I got a script down here. I've been reading the Bible, I've been sitting here scrambling. Oh, let me see if I can find something in the Bible and be drawing blanks. Reading one thing after the other. I done read Black's Law Dictionary on what what do you call a vagabond or pauper is. We're gonna talk about that too. That has to do with the topic. And I go through this. And then as I'm going through that, as I'm scrolling through these, trying to scramble to talk to y'all or something about something, the higher self says to me, do not worry about what you will say. I will give you the words in that very hour. And do you know I've been doing my show like that pretty much for the last 5-6 years? My wife just said he's telling the truth because I tell her I'm not doing the show. I don't feel like doing the show. I don't. And then boom, it just lights, camera. Just it's like a whole thing takes over. I'm telling you, that's why I could tell you with definitively that if you just take the step and just go into it, it will open up to you. The whole heavens will come to you. It would open up. The higher self would just come out and just show out. But see, some of you are too stuck. Y'all got your foot on the brake instead of the foot on the gas. Hitting it. Y'all don't, you supposed to hit that. Hey, hit them blind curves at 90 miles per hour. Go for broke for your success. We will go for broke for things. We'll go for broke. We'll fight for that. Things that will not bring us not $1. But we'll put the brakes on for something that could potentially make us some money. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta be careful. I can't do that. I'm gonna go. Oh, you know what? That's too much. I know I got a check coming over here. What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna keep your foot on the brake? You know, if you keep your foot on the brake for too long, you're gonna wear out your brake pads and you're gonna be changing brakes every 6 months to 1 year. I bought my vehicle in 2018 and I just changed the brake pads. And I drive a lot. I put over 100,000 miles since I bought that vehicle on my vehicle. And I just changed my brakes a month ago for the first time since I bought the vehicle. So yeah, you can get over 100,000 miles out of a one brake pad. Depends on how you drive. I don't drive with my foot on the brake. I just lift my foot off the gas and let the motor brake me down. I time myself behind vehicles. Sometimes I do have to hit the brake back, hard when someone's stopping short in front of me, potential accidents. But for the most part, I do not ride with my foot on the brake, expecting something to happen. Boom. Oh, jerking and stopping. That's what y'all doing with y'all business. With your ideas. Y'all jerking and stopping. Oh. Okay. I can't go here because if I do this, I can't do that. My income ain't gonna come for a couple of weeks, and I can't live without money for 2 to 3 weeks. I can't. You're expecting the worst. And that's living out your ideas, living out your life with your foot on the brakes. And guess what? Like anything else, you keep pounding on it, it's going to wear out. And your idea is going to wear out. Your inspiration is going to wear out. And guess what? You're going to go back to default to the job. And guess what? You're going to cruise on that one. You're going to just let it ride. I know I got this check. And do the same thing over and over, but you ain't happy. It's like driving on a route that don't have no real good scenery. I know I got to take this route every day, but I hate the scenery. Man, I don't want to go there, but this is the only way I can go. Instead of taking the prosperity route. And the prosperity route requires that you take your foot off the brake. There's no other way to do it. That's the requirement. That's the prerequisites, the predetermined path for every successful idea. Take your foot off the brake, and even if it's not going in that, you got to correct. Ease up, ease up a little, but you gotta get your foot off that brake. And that brake called fear. That brake called indecisiveness. That brake called negative self-talk. Mm-hmm. And you also got to get rid of some of the brakes called bad friends, bad association. And I'm not just talking about people. I'm talking about things that you do, the habits that you have that you distract yourself away from. I'm gonna go do this, and I'll do this. I'm gonna go do this thing that has no profit, no inspiration other than to give you a programming that it has. And all the programming it's giving you is to take you from the path that you say you want to be on. And that's the path to prosperity, unlimited wealth, unlimited peace, and good health. You see? See, shows like this are only popular to the people that are connected to the ideas that I'm speaking on. I don't worry about how many listeners I have at any given time. Because guess what? The few listeners that do listen when I'm doing my show more than make up for the ones that don't show up, who want to come here for some quick remedy. Like I had a phone call yesterday about someone had a car accident a couple of years ago. They drove a car with no insurance on it. And it wasn't their car, it belonged to a friend of theirs who lent them the car and didn't know it had insurance. Now the insurance company want to recoup the money that they paid for the damaged vehicle. They're responsible. So they're calling me looking for some special remedy to get out of paying it. Instead of telling me that right up front, they're going around all of these routes. And my wife could hear me talking rough, or what I call it being really straightforward, like getting to the chase instead of all of the extra conversation. Because I already sensed that this was someone who was not trying to be honorable. You damage somebody's property, you owe the money, pay it. Right? Pay it. So I told him, you owe the money. You got to pay it. There's no way around it. You damage someone's property. There's no special process that I can tell you to go do it. They didn't like that answer. They didn't like it. See, but people like that don't do business with me, they're doing me a favor. Because I don't want to be connected with people who don't want to do the honorable thing. You damage someone's property. What do you want? But you trying to get out of it. Now the problem was, now all of these extra fees have been taxed off. Now their license is getting suspended or got suspended. But the accident happened over 2 years ago. You had over 2 years to get this straight. The fees are tacked on because you let it go. Now, only reason why you're doing something because they took something from you. They took your pauper benefits, aka the driver's license. Now, what? Now you coming to me, is there? And then I'm telling them what could be, and they coming up, well, what about this? If you had all these whatabouts, why are you calling me? Go with your whatabouts. I'm telling you, you got to pay that. A court ruled against you. You was at fault. You're the contributor. And the whole thing is they want to blame the person that lent them the car because they didn't have insurance on it. Wait a minute. Those are two separate issues. Because the person who lent you the car was not driving the car. They're not the contributor of the accident. So that's the issue. You hit someone's car. Not only did you damage that car, you damaged the car you was driving. Now, that's another issue the state get on them about not carrying insurance on their car. That's another issue. But that has nothing to do with they didn't drive into someone else's property. But they didn't have insurance. Well, so you wanted them to have insurance that they pay for and cover you from being negligent. See the type of thinking that we have? And I don't tolerate those types of conversations. And 9 times out of 10, those people would never call me up again. And thank God for it. Yeah. They should have made sure. You're right. Hey, listen. Hey, get them likes up. If I like the content, get it up. If it's encouraging you. I hope it has someone who got up and took care of their business when they got the idea. Like I said, you could always come back and watch me on the rewind. Sometimes I'm questioned about how I handle certain customers. I'm questioned that way. Maybe at times I could be a little better. I could admit that. But then sometimes I also ask myself, Akiem, are you being successful in the way you move? And I'm saying yes. Can I be more successful? Of course. But then I have to examine how I'm moving. Am I really being rude, or am I just being brutally honest? So I gotta ask those questions. And that's what I'm saying. When you are going to these different levels, you're gonna have to start being brutally honest. And I'm not talking about with other people, with yourself. Are you being real with yourself? Because the first person you need to be real with is you. And then once you get real with yourself, then you can get real with everyone else. And that's what I try to do. I try to get real with myself first. Try to. I examine my actions and then I move on. But anyway. All right. Let's go to this thing I was gonna go. Then we're gonna shut it down. Nobody's over here looking to talk to me. All right, I'm sorry. Maybe I hurt somebody's feelings. Nazim Alisi, brother, honestly, I salute you 100%. Really, your wisdom dealing with child support issues and that whole racket is nothing but honest and factual. Thank you. And you know what? I'm glad you put that up there because someone came to me in my inbox today. It went to my website. Then they came into my messenger inbox and tried to circumvent my whole consultation thing. And I gave him, when he asked me, I just want to talk to you to see get how many wins you got. He want to know my win-loss sequence and all of that. I said, basically, you want to get a free consultation. So I sent him the website, set up a consultation, we could talk. Then he comes back and he says, well, basically, I gotta get a consultation just to ask you to see if your stuff works. See, number one, I gotta prove nothing to anybody. Enough people have come on here and gave the testimonies of my track record. If you watch videos, if you've been watching me, so I should just keep watching them videos. I speaks for itself. If you want my private time, go there, click that button, pay the $75, and we talk. Because in order for me to tell my win-loss record, you're gonna be asking me, well, I got this issue. What about that? That's a consultation. And I said, or you can come on tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and ask me the question. I'll be glad to answer your questions right on the air, live. I didn't get that response. Know what I got? Oh, you answer my question by your attitude and your impoliteness. See, this is where I gotta call it out. This is that beta male attitude. That's not alpha. Because the alpha be like, yeah, I respect that the brother was straight with me. Go here or come here. I gave him an option to talk to me for free right here, live and direct. He didn't like the way I said it. I didn't see what he really didn't like. He couldn't circumvent my consultation. He thought I was just going to call him like I was his slave and like I was desperate to get his money. Because if he was a real thinker, this man ain't even trying to push me to pay him for nothing. See, the charlatans, the scammers would be on the phone. Yeah, I got and give you all this fluff. Me, I ain't got to give you fluff. Either you're going to catch that consultation or you're not going to do it. And if you don't, that's fine. If you do, that's fine as well. Because the God in me knows that everything's all taken care of. Everything going to be all right with or without that person coming to me. I'm not the one with the issue of child support. So you asking me for help. You asking me for guidance. You want that. And if your spirit is so tainted, so blind that it can't look at my videos and get a connection from that, then that means your spirituality is off a little bit. Because when I deal with people, I catch them and I say, man, something's connecting to that. And I just go and I pay it. Boom. And I get, y'all think, I still pay people for information. If I think person got something worth listening to, I pay for it. Now, every now and then I have ran into some things. All of it wasn't great, but something in there is what I needed to connect something else. So it was worth it in the long run, right? But I still invest in other people's businesses. Oh, somebody's on the line. I'm gonna get this, and then we're gonna go over this thing, and then we're gonna shut it down. 856-266. Peace.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm chilling, bro. I called you like a couple weeks ago. It's Mayu Bay again.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember my voice. So
no, I don't. But thanks for calling back in. But go ahead.
Okay, true. I asked you about your radios. I asked you about like future, how you saw it growing. And,
I remember that conversation. I remember.
Yeah. So I asked a question in the chat. I'm just a little curious about something because I got family, like I'm Barbadian, like I got family from Barbados, and they just became a republic. So, like, what does that mean?
Let me correct you on that. They have always been a republic, but they allowed the queen to be a trustee for them, and they just got rid of that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So did they do? So are they basically in the beginning steps of what America did when they did their Declaration of Independence and became like a Commonwealth?
Honestly, brother, I didn't really read that deep into that situation. So I can't really answer that. I got to do some research on it. I'll just be speaking off the top of my head.
Okay.
By the way, my boys, two of my sons are half Barbadian.
Oh, family. That's what's up. Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, so I was just curious because I got family there, and I just was wondering.
What's your last name?
If there was on the island, Corbin.
Corbin? Okay.
Yeah, and they would know. Like we all kind of, the Corbin family. They would know. But yeah. So I was just curious if there was anything to study there, because it's kind of history repeats itself time and time again.
I would look into it, but I just haven't. I saw that a couple of weeks ago, and I just skimmed the article. I didn't research it much, but I will eventually.
Okay, because does this mean they're going to start creating our own money?
That could be possible, but with the International Monetary Fund and all of them, you know how it is when a country tries to create their own money, and if they don't play ball, they'll depress their economy, they'll depress their dollar, and you know how that goes.
Okay,
they'll be on the attack.
Okay,
yeah. They can create
Okay. All right.
under the current system. They can do it, but they got to play ball with the international community if they want to stay relevant. See what happened in Zimbabwe? You see that, right? When they didn't play ball, they
Okay.
depressed their dollar, then they went right back to the U.S. dollar. So, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All
Awesome.
right.
Don't be surprised if I call you next week and just see what you think about that. Because,
Okay.
like
If I
I
have time
said,
to
like
look at it,
I'm
I can share my thoughts on it.
okay.
All
Awesome.
right.
All right, brother. I appreciate you.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Good
Thanks.
work.
Thanks for calling
And
in.
you brought up the rum. So I'm like, I gotta call them and ask now because you start bringing up my people's rum.
Right. Yeah,
So,
this is
but
good. Actually, this is a very good rum. It's like, and when we had it at Thanksgiving, everybody loved it. Actually, this bottle was given to me by my brother-in-law because they drank up the one I had bought. And I was like, I bought it for everybody to drink up. I don't drink like that. That's what it was for. I only bought it for the occasion. And in the day that was, it was gone. That next day was pretty much obliterated. But everybody loved it. And one thing I like about it, because see, I can't drink cheap alcohol. Whenever I drink the Malibu, that was, I felt funny. But with this, it's smooth and I don't have that side effects from, certain alcohol that'll give you. It's really good rum. It really is. So, all right, brother, you there?
Yeah, my fault. I got kids.
Okay.
Like my kids go to sleep around this time every night.
Okay.
So.
All right.
But I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate
All right. Okay. Peace. All right. Take care. Thank you. All right. Let's get into this. Let's share this case. Let's share screen window. All right. All right. So let's read this case. All right. So this is, let me make sure I'm sharing this correctly. All right. Good. I'm going to move it over here so I can read it a little bit better. All right. It says here, Barron versus Mayor and City Council of Baltimore. So the whole idea of this is to show you who the real people are. So I probably won't have to read all of this. Time is already 8:19. So here it is. This is the syllabus. It says, the provision in the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution of the United States declaring that private property shall not be taken for public use without just compensation is intended solely as a limitation on the exercise of power by the government of the United States. And it is not applicable to the legislation of the United States. The Constitution was ordained and established by the people of the United States for themselves, for their own government, and not for the government of individual states. Each state established a constitution for itself, and in that constitution provided such limitations and restrictions on the power of its particular government as its judgment dictated. The people of the United States framed such a government for the United States as they suppose best adapted to their situation and best calculated to promote their interest. The powers they conferred on this government were to be exercised by itself, and the limitations on power, if expressed in general terms, are naturally and necessarily applicable to the government created by the instrument. They are limitations of government granted in the instrument itself, not of distinct governments framed by different persons and for different purposes. So it just said here that the people of the United States framed such government for the United States. It was for them. Who are them? The Congress. The Congress. That's the people. You're not the people. So that means they're making those rules and regulations for themselves for the benefit of them. And they're U.S. citizens. Okay? This is the full case here. You can read this. It's a lot. So that's why I'm not going to read it, and I don't have time. All right? They made it for them. But let me go even further. Let's go here. This is the Articles of Confederation. As you know, I always read this to make points. The style of this confederacy shall be the United States of America. Each state retains its sovereignty. That's what it just said. Each state gets to make all its rules for itself, for the people, which is their Congress, their senates, whatever, right? And independence in every power, jurisdiction, and right, which is not by this confederation expressly delegated to the United States in Congress's symbol. It's saying that each state retains its sovereignty. Unless they expressly delegated powers over to the United States in Congress's symbol, aka the people. The Congress is the people. The said states hereby severally enter into a firm league of friendship with each other for their common defense, the security of their liberties, and their mutual and general welfare, binding themselves to assist each other against all force offered to or attacks made upon them, or any of them, on account of religion, sovereignty, trade, or any other pretense, was whatever. So we're saying that the states join together to defend their interests on account of religion and sovereignty and trade, commerce, aka commerce, trade, another word for commerce. 4, to the better to secure and perpetuate mutual friendship and intercourse among the people of the different states in the union. So basically, what it's saying, the people of the union, the Congress, they're friends with each other, with the United States. Then they're going to say the free inhabitants of each state. See, now this is a different set of people. The free inhabitants of each of these states, paupers, vagabonds, and fugitives from justice accepted. So free inhabitants are included in this, but what's not included of this is paupers, vagabonds, and fugitives from justice. What is a pauper? Black's Law Dictionary says that a pauper, a person so poor that he must be supported at public expense. Also, a suitor who, on account of poverty, is allowed to sue or defend without being chargeable with cost. That's what, when people go to court and they don't want to pay the fee. And some of the people in this very movement don't want to pay the fees, and that's the thing they use, form pauperists. And they wonder why they lose their cases, because they're coming in as form pauperists. You're a pauper. So you come in as that. You take this title away from yourself. Free inhabitants. You're not that. And you're not included in the sovereignty like the people have. You're not included. And see, so many people, you need to do the form, do this, and they doing it. And because all they looking at is, I don't have to pay. And don't realize what status they just stepped into. Everything's about status. Everything you're doing is about status. So if I come in there and I try to, I don't pay because of this, and I fill out that form pauperist, because in this Constitution it says all court is supposed to be without cost. You don't have to fill out a form pauperist. They're supposed to automatically give you that. But why do they have that form? Because they know that is another form of being a pauper or someone who is being supported by the state. So you fill that form out, you can never go in there and say, I'm not a U.S. citizen. You have no rights. Because a U.S. citizen is a pauper or vagabonds. Okay, let's see what that is. What is that definition in Black's Law Dictionary? Vagabond. What's vagabond? If I'm saying it correctly. Let's see what that says. Vagabond. Let's see. Let's see. Let me take a swig, y'all. Last swig of the night. I gotta drive home. Vagabond. Vagabond. Okay. One that wanders about and has no certain dwelling, an idle fella. Not synonymous with vagrant. Under an Illinois statute, an idle and dissolute person is not a vagabond unless he goes about begging. Vagabonds are described in Old English statutes as such as wake on the night and sleep on the day and haunt constable taverns and alehouses and routes about and no man what from whence they came nor with. Okay, y'all get the point. Vagrancy. At common law, the act of going about from place to place by a person without visible means of support who is idle and who, though able to work for his or her maintenance, refuses to do so, but lives without labor or on the charity of others. Okay? So that's a beggar. So when you're on taking, and what did they do? What did they do when this pandemic hit? Yeah, that it is fifth eminent domain. What did they do when the pandemic hit? They started giving all their paupers money, all their U.S. citizen money. They just gave it to you. Oh, I got that money. And in some places, they just dumped it into your bank account. Interesting. See, there's all kinds of ways they try to trap you into that title of U.S. citizen. So, no, you are not the people. You are the free inhabitants. You are the children of God. If you remember, I told y'all to separate yourself. Because if you put in your paperwork, and I was reading plenty of paperwork today that's talking about we the people and this and that. No, you're not. You didn't go into Congress and take any oaths to make laws and all of that. You're not the people. The people are the ones in Congress making rules for their corporate entity, their people. All right. There you have it. Long and short, I was gonna go a little deeper, but y'all got the point. And Max and Moore said I need to put the link for the Lord thing. Okay, I'll get it. Let me get the link. Hang on. Let me get the link. Let me get it. It's on my website. If you go to my first page and click the arrow to the right of the screen, it takes you to the icon. How to win in court. How to win in court. I'm putting in the chat. It's $249 for the year, but it's very good information. Very good. There's a link. Thanks for reminding me of Mexico. Thanks. I use that. That's how I win cases because I use that. You know. All right, people. Yeah, that's right. $75 is nothing. Not only is it a consultation, it's a Zoom consultation. So that means if you have documents you want me to look at, I look at them and then I go over them right there on the spot. Although a lot of people don't even take advantage of that. Zoom, showing me the documents right there on Zoom. What they do is they'll send me the documents by email instead of having them on their computer, and I give them the rights to share their screen. You know how many times I get stuff by email? It's so hard to find that stuff. Hey, hope the brother finds what he's looking for. More power to him. All right. That's right. Maxim says you can't lose with the stuff, with the teachings from Tuesday, with Tuesday teaching by Akiem, what the stuff he uses, you will never lose again. Yep. He's right. I don't have too many people complaining about they didn't get their buddy's worth. And when they do complain, I nip that in the bud. Thank you, baby. My wife said I did a wonderful show. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. With that being said, that's another end to another show. Remember, we have. Oh, that's right. Yeah, she changed the last name. She's a barber now. She's not a Omani anymore. We have the Divine Connection show on Thursday. We're supposed to have the Beth and Akiem journey, but we've been kind of slack on that. Things been coming up. I've been tired. And then also my son did a show on Thursday, but it's on Blog Talk Radio. Go to Blog Talk Radio, Hindsight 2020. I'll put the link in there. I got to show him how to do the live thing. Get it. So I got to get Divine Connection shows on my channel too. We kind of fell off on that. Fell off on that for real. He's calling it Super Saturdays. He's doing a prodigal son thing again. Yeah. There's the link to his show from Saturday. I didn't listen to it. I'm sorry. I got to go back and listen. There's the link there. All right. With that being said, y'all have a wonderful week to come. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all.
Peace to the gods. You're listening to Hindsight Radio. This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.